Our correspondent Jessica Parker there. Well, let's cross live to Berlin to speak to Markus Ziener, who's a senior visiting fellow for the German Marshall Fund think tank. Thank you so much for joining us, Markus. First of all, why do you think there has been this shift by voters towards the far right?
Well, thanks for having me. I think there is a couple of things in play here. The one is, of course, as mentioned earlier, the migration problem, the migration topic. Many people in the East feel that we have too many migrants, and this actually happened under the rule of Angela Merkel. When she was chancellor, we had a big wave of migrants coming to Germany, and this is what the AfD, the far-right party, is capitalizing on to say, well, we have too many. This is the one topic. The other topic is a certain sentiment of feeling like being left behind, being underprivileged, and not having the same wealth situation, being not as well off as in the Western part. So this is also something, two parties, the AfD was mentioned, but also there's another party at play, which has been formed only half a year ago. It's called Bündnis Sarah Wagenknecht, Alliance Sarah Wagenknecht. And this party also is trying to, take advantage of some kind of East German identity and saying, well, we are the real representatives of East Germans.
And Markus, while we're speaking, viewers are seeing live images from a polling booth in Thuringia, or Thüringen, if you fancy the German, more German pronunciation. But what do you think Olaf Scholz's party has failed to do in order to capture these voters? Or do you think these are voters who would express their vote as a protest either way, regardless of what Mr. Scholz's party could do?
I think the latter is true, that no matter what Olaf Scholz is doing, it's not going to give him some more credit. I mean, as mentioned earlier, I mean, it's the one thing is migration. The other thing, which I didn't mention, was Russia and some kind of, certain sympathy for the Russians, which is interesting here because East Germany suffered under the oppression by the Soviet Union for so many decades. However, this is something probably in the West, we see that as a fact. However, many people in the eastern part of Germany, they don't see that like they have been living under a dictatorship. At least they don't think they were so badly off when they lived at that time. So in hindsight, there is some kind of nostalgia in play. Now, what does this have to do with the regional elections? Both the AfD and the BSW, they're both asking for a stop of sending weapons to Ukraine. They believe that the West and NATO, they have a certain responsibility and that they should not prolong the war by sending weapons to Ukraine. So interestingly, although there are regional elections, the topics of migration and the foreign policy issue of Ukraine are high on the priority list and could become decisive topics for voters to vote for the far right and the BSW.
We shall see. Thank you, Markus Ziener. Thank you for your time. Do stay with us here on BBC News.